I want you to close your eyes and think about the greatest football memory of your life. Maybe it was a 90th minute winner, a miraculous comeback, a moment so purely magical that you jumped out of your seat, spilled an overpriced beer on your own child, and cried tears of pure unadulterated joy. It felt like destiny, the beautiful game in all its glory. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but there is a solid chance that your precious miracle was actually just a carefully orchestrated financial transaction, planned by a guy sitting in a basement in Singapore in his underwear, clicking submit on a giant spreadsheet. Welcome to the darkest, funniest, and most depressing secret in sports. Love to point and laugh at professional wrestling because it's fake. We know the folding chairs are gimmicked and the winner is decided by a guy in a suit before the match even starts. But football fans suffer from a global collective delusion. We genuinely believe our sport is mathematically pure today. I'm going to completely ruin football for you. I'm going to show you how a hidden mafia of Asian betting syndicates, corrupt referees, and billionaire executives don't just influence the game, they literally direct it like a low-budget Hollywood movie. This isn't some tinfoil hat conspiracy theory, this is the multi-billion-dollar business of match fixing. Grab your tinfoil hats anyway, and let's dive into the absolute circus that is scripted football. To understand how you hack a professional football match, you need to meet the man who basically turned real life into a speedrun of Football Manager. His name is Wilson Raj Perumal. He wasn't a terrifying mafia dun. He didn't break people's kneecaps with baseball bats. He just looked like a guy who would overcharge you to fix your laptop. But in the 2000s and early 2010s, Wilson Raj Perumal was the supreme overlord of global football corruption. He didn't just fix a couple of games, he fixed hundreds of them. World Cup qualifiers, the Olympics, the African Cup of Nations. He treated international football like his own personal piggy bank. But how? How do you convince professional athletes, who are supposedly fueled by an insane competitive drive, to lose on purpose? The psychology here is actually brilliant. You never, ever bribe the star striker. The star striker makes $100,000 a week, dates supermodels, and has an ego the size of Jupiter. He wants to score goals so he can take his shirt off and flex on Instagram. If you want to fix a game, you target the weakest, most underpaid links on the pitch, the referees, and the defenders. Imagine you're a referee from a small developing nation. Your monthly salary is roughly the price of a decent microwave. Suddenly, a guy in a tailored suit approaches you in a hotel lobby and offers you $50,000 in cold hard cash in a literal briefcase. That is 10 years of your salary, tax-free. All you have to do is blow your little plastic whistle and point to the penalty spot. If a player trips over a blade of grass in the 85th minute, Perumal realized that football is a hilariously fragile sport. It only takes one bad offside call, one soft red card, or one accidental slip by a center back to completely change the outcome of a game. And why was he doing this? Because of the Asian handicap betting markets. In the unregulated betting markets of Southeast Asia, you can bet tens of millions of dollars on a single match without moving the odds, completely undetected by European authorities. It is basically the Wild West, but with more math. Perumal wasn't guessing who would win. He was buying the script, reading the ending, and betting the house on it. But eventually, just bribing a referee got a little boring for our guy Wilson. He wanted to pull off a heist so absurd. It belongs in a comedy museum. Let me tell you a story that is so unbelievably stupid. You will question how human society even functions. The date is September 7th, 2010. The national team of Bahrain has scheduled a friendly match against the African nation of Togo to prepare for a major tournament. The stadium is packed, the TV cameras are rolling, the Togo national team proudly walks out onto the pitch, but immediately, something is extremely wrong. The Bahrain manager looks at the Togo players. They look like they just woke up from a 3-day bender. They are completely unfit. Some of them look like they are 45 years old and have bad knees. When the game actually starts, the Togo team plays like they think offside is a brand of deodorant. They are tripping over the ball. They have zero tactics. It looks like a group of accountants got lost on their way to a team-building exercise. Bahrain ends up winning the match, 3-0. And honestly, if they tried, it would have been 45-0. The Bahrain coach goes to the press conference furious. He says, "This team was a complete joke. What a waste of our time." A few days later, the Togo Football Association releases an official statement, and the statement causes the entire football world's collective jaw to drop to the floor. The Togo FA says, we have no idea who those people were. Our actual national team is currently in Togo. We never authorized a match in Bahrain. Yes, you're hearing this correctly. Wilson Raj Perumal had literally hired 11 random guys off the street, bought them fake knockoff Togo jerseys from a local market, forged official FIFA documents, and sent a fake national team to play an officially sanctioned international match. Why? Because his syndicate had bet millions of dollars on the total number of goals that would be scored in that specific game. He didn't just fix a match, he completely fabricated one out of thin air. He created a fake reality, broadcasted it on international TV, and cashed the check. If they can fake an entire national team in front of FIFA's eyes without anyone noticing until 3 days later, what makes you think that Tuesday night Premier League game you're watching is pure? Now, at this point, you might be telling yourself, okay, sure, maybe friendlies in Bahrain get fixed by random Asian syndicates, but not the big leagues, not the Premier League, not Serie A. They make too much money, they have standards. If you think money stops corruption, you don't understand how rich people operate. Let's rewind to 2006, Italy, the home of the most tactical elite football in the world. This wasn't a syndicate hacking the system from the outside. This was the system fixing itself from the inside. Welcome to the Calciopoli scandal. The general manager of Juventus, a guy named Luciano Moggi, wasn't bribing referees with briefcases of cash in hotel lobbies. That's amateur hour. He was operating like an actual comic book villain. Moggi had created a secret network where he was literally handpicking the referees for Juventus matches. If a referee didn't favor Juventus, Moggi would use his influence in the media to absolutely destroy the referee's career. There are literal wiretaps of Moggi locking a referee inside a stadium dressing room after a game because the referee didn't give Juventus a penalty. He locked a grown man in a closet like a school bully because the script didn't go his way. That is the most stereotypical mafia behavior you can possibly imagine. The result? Juventus was caught, stripped of 2 Serie A titles and relegated to the second division. AC Milan, Lazio, and Fiorentina were all heavily punished. The biggest clubs in the world, playing in front of 80,000 fans every weekend, broadcast to millions globally, were secretly scripting the league for their own benefit. The illusion of fair competition wasn't just shattered, it was thrown in a wood chipper. But here's the terrifying part. You might think, well, that was 2006. Now, we have VAR, we have 40 high-definition cameras covering every inch of the pitch. You can't fix games anymore. Wrong again. Bucko, technology hasn't stopped match fixing. It has just evolved it into something much more insidious. Welcome to the terrifying era of microbetting. You see, trying to fix the final score of a Champions League game is hard. There are too many variables, but today, gambling apps allow you to bet on literally anything in real time. You can bet on who gets the first yellow card. You can bet on the exact minute the first throw-in happens. You don't need a player to throw the entire game. You just need a player to kick the ball out of bounds in the 12th minute. Look at the recent investigations in the Premier League. Lucas Paqueta of West Ham United is currently facing career-ending charges for allegedly getting intentionally yellow carded in specific matches just so that his buddies in Brazil could win massive bets. How many times have you watched a game and thought, wow, what an idiot. Why did he make that tackle? Was he an idiot? Or was a $500,000 microbet just cashed in? And what about VAR, the system that was supposed to bring ultimate truth to football? Have you noticed how VAR decisions can sometimes take 4 minutes? They draw lines that look like a 3-year-old playing with Microsoft Paint. They disallow goals because a striker's armpit hair was technically 3 millimeters offside. I'm not saying every VAR referee is corrupt, but if you are a multi-billion-dollar betting syndicate looking to subtly control a game, isn't a highly subjective, totally opaque video review system happening in a secret room exactly the tool you would want? VAR gives a referee the ultimate excuse to change a script at the last possible second, all under the impenetrable guise of technology. So, is football scripted? Is every single match fake? No. The vast majority of players and managers genuinely love the sport. They give their blood, sweat, and tears for the badge. But as long as there are billions of dollars moving through unregulated betting markets every single weekend, the shadow of corruption will always be there, pulling the strings. The next time you watch a game and a defender makes a bizarre brain-dead mistake, the next time a referee points to the spot for a phantom foul in the 94th minute, a tiny part of your brain is now going to wonder, was that a human error or did someone somewhere in a dark room just hit enter on a keyboard and cash a very, very large check? You can never unsee the Matrix, kids. I'm Oligarch HQ. If this video ruined your childhood but made you laugh, hit subscribe, leave a like, and comment below. What is the most suspicious football moment you have ever seen? And please, use my promo code to get 10% off your next existential crisis. Peace out.